order the meeting of October 17th Hammond Plan Commission. If you would please rise with me and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chair thanks Commissioner Hutton for carrying the water last meeting. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Next item on the agenda is item 3. Commissioners, you should have in your packet the meeting minutes for August. Oh, I'm sorry. Beg your pardon. Before we jump ahead in the agenda, I would ask that the secretary call the roll.
Roger Brock.
Here.
Michael Dye.
Here.
Ann Herbert.
Here.
William Hutton.
Here.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Here.
Dan Spitali.
Here.
Sharon Zaney. Here. Marcus Taylor.
Here.
Dean Button.
Here.
9 present. We have a quorum.
Thank you for keeping me on order. So the next item on the agenda is item 3. You should have in your packet the meeting minutes for August 15th, 2022. And the chair would entertain a motion to approve those meeting minutes.
Mr. President, motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dye, seconded by Commissioner Hutton to approve the meeting minutes for August 15th, 2022. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Michael Dye.
Yes.
Ann Herbert.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali. Yes. Sharon Zaney. Yes. Marcus Taylor.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to defer the approval of the minutes for September 19th, 2022.
Mr. President, I would like to table those minutes. Make a motion? Sorry.
Motion to table.
Motion to table, my fault.
Seconded by Commissioner Kazmierzak. To table the meeting minutes for September 19th, 2022. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Michael Dye.
Yes.
Ann Herbert.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali. Sharon Zaney. Marcus Taylor.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is item number 4, old business. Is there any old business to address to the board at this time?
There is no old business.
Thank you, Mr. Poland. Item 5 is new business. First item on the agenda is CP 22-14, petition of NH Vegas LLC to reclassify property at 1051 Indianapolis Boulevard from I-2 Manufacturing District. Operate and maintain a fueling station and convenience store, and to construct a retail facility with drive-through within the city of Hammond, Lake County, Indiana. I would ask the secretary if the notification requirements have been met.
Yes, they have.
Thank you very much. I see Mr. Dan Tersman, of NH Vegas LLC is present. I would ask Mr. Tersman to identify himself further and present us with your petition. For those online, Mr. Tersman is signing in. Thank you.
Sorry. Hi, good evening. I'm Dan Tersman. I'm not sure if that's my feedback, but Dan Tersman, Director of Development for the Luke family of brands, and here as agent for NH Vegas. Not sure what's happening there, but I'm here tonight requesting approval for the rezone of 10. Property is currently used as a Luke gas station. The owner of the property wishes to raise or completely demolish the existing facilities and reconstruct a new gas station, and in the process also subdivide the property and be able to do a secondary retail building on that property. So the first step of the process is we are currently, the property is currently classified as a I-2 zoning, and so we are requesting for that to be reclassified to C4 general commercial.
Is that all? Is that into your presentation?
Well, I'm happy to talk a little bit more about the project. We're looking to do approximately 3,800 square foot convenience store that would be more in keeping with our current and most updated prototype for the station. All new pumps. Sorry.
Could I ask the commissioners, there's a button on your microphone in front. If you could hold the button to press the button down while Mr. Tersman is speaking, and we could try to stop the feedback problem. Thank you.
Okay. So the idea would be to, again, build a new convenience store, approximately 3,800 square feet. That would be in our new, in keeping with our new current prototype. Redesigning the entire site for better ingress, egress, to meet the safety and of the public. And then as well do a multi-tenant QSR drive-through type retail building on the property as well. So so I guess I don't know if there's any questions or specifics that you would like me to address or discuss, but happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Mr. Tersman?
Mr. President, I'd like to ask,
Commissioner Dye.
what type of tenant are you looking for the drive-through?
So the type of tenant that would be envisioned would be probably a QSR type user, so quick service restaurant type user. So that we do have a drive-through envisioned for it. We then, depending on how that, what size, what requirements are needed for that user, then we would also have potentially some additional space there for another type of retail inline user as well, such as service provider, common one for that type of a product.
Great, thank you.
Further questions for the petitioner? Thank you, Dan, for your presentation. If you want to just hold tight nearby, we'll open it up at this time for a public hearing. So for this particular petition, public hearing for CP 22-14 is open. If there's anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of the opposition, please step forward. Pardon? Did you say in favor of the opposition? Did I? Yeah. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of the petition? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition of the petition? Anyone just wishing to comment on the petition? And if there is anyone online who would wish to speak on this petition? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing portion of the meeting. Anything further to add, Mr. Tersman? Thank you very much. Mr. Poland, I'll turn you over to you for the staff report.
As stated, this is a petition to rezone the property at 1051 Indianapolis Boulevard from I-2 to C4. This is a continuation of a trend that we have been doing for a number of years along this portion of Indianapolis Boulevard, where a couple of other gas stations were also in the I-2 zone, and for the opportunity to reconstruct, we requested that the property is rezoned to C4, which would be a more appropriate zoning classification according to the staff's opinion. This will also trigger the petitioner to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals for a conditional use permit to just complete the whole entitlement process and making sure that all of the everything's in place. Across the street is the Fifth Avenue Marina development, which is zone PUD. The tracks to the north is certainly also, to the north are I-2. The petitioner has already gone to the Redevelopment Commission for determination of compliance. The petition for rezoning is in keeping with the current uses. It will allow for the redevelopment of the fueling station convenience store and upgrade it to the new corporate design. And it will act as a buffer to the industrial uses to the north and enhance the area generally around the Indianapolis Boulevard, Fifth Avenue development. Staff recommends that the Plan Commission forward the petition to the City Council with a favorable recommendation. If the Plan Commission agrees with the recommendation, the staff requests that this report is adopted by the Plan Commission as preliminary findings of fact.
Thank you, Mr. Poland. Questions for Mr. Poland? From the
Mr.
commission?
President, I do.
Yes, Mr. Hub.
Mr. Poland, can multiple building owners or users use the same dumpster enclosure? I'm only seeing one dumpster enclosure around here.
Typically not, only because potentially, with the subsequent petition coming before us for the re-subdivision, they should have their own dumpster just because of separate ownership. It doesn't mean that the developer can't work out an agreement to have a common dumpster or a common dumpster location. That would potentially trigger, some easement issues and things like that.
If I may, also, the plan that's has been submitted is really submitted as a reference or exhibit to, I guess, illustrate the overall concept. That's not meant to be a final engineering plan. And that being said, as far as the dumpster enclosure goes, the intent would be to have separate facilities for the two, separate businesses. So at any rate, there is some work that we still need to do. I intend to work with city engineering on, ingress, egress, and the traffic flow around the site to make sure that we're meeting all those criteria. So that would kind of fall into the next step, which would be the development plan approval or I guess the conditional use plan approval.
Thank you.
Other questions for Mr. Poland? Hearing none, thank you, Mr. Poland, for the staff report. If there is nothing further, the chair would entertain a motion from the Plan Commission to make a favorable recommendation of this petition to the City Council.
Mr. President, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Kazmierzak, seconded by Councilman Spitali, to make a favorable recommendation of your petition to the City Council. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock?
Yes.
Michael Dye?
Yes.
Ann Herbert?
Yes.
William Hutton?
Yes?
Thomas Kazmierzak?
Yes.
Dan Spitali? Yes. Sharon Zaney? Yes. Marcus Taylor?
Yes.
Dean Button?
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Tersman. I see we have one more action to move forward. Oh, no, we got one more thing. Sorry. Slightly distracted. The chair would entertain a motion to approve this staff report as a preliminary finding of fact.
Mr. President, I'd like to make that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Dye. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you to Commissioner Taylor. It's been moved and properly seconded to make the staff report as a preliminary finding of fact. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock?
Yes.
Michael Dye?
Yes.
Ann Herbert?
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak,
Yes.
Dan Spitali. Sharon Zaney. Marcus Taylor.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President,
Mr. Poland.
a question for Mr. Tersman. Have you talked to the councilman of the district about your rezoning petition?
I have not.
Okay, because I just noticed that we do not have a council member as the sponsor for this, and it would be, if you could contact the councilman tomorrow, and then we can follow up, because we would have to then change all our documents to have the sponsor listed on the ordinance document before we could submit it to the city council.
Understood.
And then, Councilman Spitali, in the absence of that, would you be willing to allow us to put you as the sponsor until we get, I mean, it's not that we can't have both of you and Councilman Kalwinski, but in the interim that Mr. Tersman cannot get a hold of Mr. Councilman Kalwinski, would you be willing to be the sponsor? Yeah, I will. Okay.
Thank you, Councilman. Anything further, Mr. Poland?
No.
Are we ready to move on to the next order of business?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is CP 22-15, petition of NH Vegas LLC for approval of a two-lot re-subdivision of Luke's 267 addition to the city of Hammond, located at 1051 Indianapolis Boulevard, which is zoned C4 within the city of Hammond, Lake County, Indiana. I would ask the secretary if the notification requirements have been met.
Yes, they have.
Thank you very much.
And then, Mr. President, just to note that the way it was listed on the agenda was under the presumption that the rezoning was in effect. And that's going to be the future zoning of the property of C4, because currently it is I2.
Yes, I sort of anticipated that, so thank you, Mr. Poland, for clarifying. Mr. Tersman is a petitioner on this action, and we would love to hear your statement. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. So again, same project, so at 1051 Indianapolis Boulevard. The intent is to demolish the existing facilities, build a new convenience store, gas station, as well as a separate retail facility. So for that process, then we are asking to subdivide or re-subdivide the current parcel into two parcels. We are working on a final engineering plan that then would, to confirm on any necessary cross-access easements or any of those types of things. As well, there is a technical matter on the current entrance that's aligned with the Casino Drive. It's a signalized intersection. Of course, that's INDOT right-of-way along Indianapolis Boulevard. There's an approximately 40 by 60 foot area that is currently there's no recorded deed or INDOT right-of-way taking for that area. So we're trying to determine what needs to happen there as far as how that would relate to or impact the plat. But either way, the intent of the design would be to keep that intersection intact. So ultimately, we're working to resolve that technical matter before the final plat would be recorded.
Anything further, Mr. Tersman?
I
Questions
don't
for
believe
Mr.
so.
Tersman?
Questions?
From the commissioners? Seeing none, thank you for your time. At this point, we'll move to the public hearing portion of the meeting. For this petition, is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in opposition of this petition? Anyone wishing to comment in any way on this petition? And is there anyone online wishing to make a statement or comment on this petition? Seeing none, the public hearing portion of the meeting is now closed. Thank you very much. I assume you have nothing further to add at this point, Mr. Tersman. Thank you. I will turn it over to Mr. Poland for a staff report.
Just to note for the record that the original subdivision of Luke's 267 addition was approved in 2009. The parcel is 2.01 acres. The intent is to re-subdivide it into 2 lots. As noted, it's in this process of being converted from I2 to C4, and all of our evaluations on the subdivision was based on the expectation that the C4 zoning will be in effect. The 2 new lots as being created meet or exceed the minimum lot size requirements for the C4 zoning district. The petitioner did note the outstanding question regarding the 62 by 40 foot area that is at the traffic signal location, and just clarifying whether the notations on the plat should remain or not, or be altered in some manner. Staff recommendation: the plat went out to the for agency review. All the responses were not received, but the ones we did receive did not have any objections. Staff's opinion is that the plat meets the requirements set forth in the subdivision control ordinance and recommends for preliminary and final approval of the subdivision plat, subject to the resolution of the 62 by 40 foot area with NDOT and any other technical matters regarding the notations on the plat. If the Planning Commission agrees with the staff report, it is recommended that the staff report is adopted as findings of fact.
Thank you, Mr. Poland. Questions regarding the staff report from the commissioners to Mr. Poland? Questions? Thank you, Mr. Poland, for your time. If there's nothing more to add, the chair would entertain a motion to make preliminary and final approval of the subdivision plat subject to the resolution of the 62 by 40 area with NDOT and other technical matters. Is there such a motion?
Moved.
I will give it to Ms. Herbert. Thank you very much. Motion by Mrs. Herbert, seconded by Councilman Spitali. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Michael Dye.
Yes.
Ann Herbert.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali. Sharon Zaney. Marcus Taylor.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Thank you. The chair would also entertain a motion to adopt the staff report as a finding of fact.
Motion to approve?
Thank you, Commissioner Dye. Second by Commissioner Zaney. There's been a motion properly seconded for approval of the staff report as a finding of fact. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the motion.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
Michael Dye.
Yes.
Ann Herbert.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Thomas Kazmierzak.
Yes.
Dan Spitali. Sharon Zaney. Marcus Taylor.
Yes.
Dean Button.
Yes.
9 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Thank you. Okay, thank you,
Thank you
Mr.
very
Tersman.
much.
Congratulations. We'll work out our technical details. Thank you for coming. Any other new business?
No new business.
Thank you. Item number 6 is correspondence.
No correspondence.
Item number 7 would be commissioners' comments. Any comments from commissioners? Okay. Item 8 is staff comments. Mr. Poland?
We are expecting petitions for the November meeting, so my first question regarding that to the councilman, are you expecting the council to keep its regular meeting dates for the 14th and the 28th in November? Okay, you're going to keep them? Okay. All right, so the Plan Commission's meeting is scheduled then for the 21st of November. Just to note for everybody, that is the Monday before Thanksgiving. So if you are going to be absent, please let us know as soon as you have that information. At least, there's at least 1 or 2 petitions that will be on the agenda. Nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Poland. Item 9 is public comment. Anyone in the audience wishing to address the Plan Commission? Anyone in the audience? Anyone in the audience? Seeing none, Chair would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
Thank you, Mr.
Second.
Commissioner Dye.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Kazmierzak. It's been moved and properly seconded to adjourn the meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned.